Hello everybody, and welcome to our last session working with the sacral chakra in the chakra series. I hope you have had a good week and that you have found the last two sessions on this chakra informative, and you've had some time to get acquainted with both the meaning and the function of this chakra, and have had some time also to take a moment of self-reflection and see how you feel within this chakra within yourself today. So today we are going to complete the process. We got to know what this chakra is on the first session. We got to release any of the blockages that we noticed in the second session when we went into meditation and we're in a space of observation. And today what we want to do is we just want to continue this process, and we want to now project and claim to the universe that which we want to see moving forward, right? So we are declaring today, this is a programming session, so we are declaring what it is that we want to see, and we are doing this after having let go of the programming that no longer serves us. So today what I want to do is take us back into the sacral chakra really quickly. I'm going to get us to do a few deep breaths just to center ourselves, and I want you to sort of send your awareness deep inside your body every time you breathe. And after a few breaths, I'm actually going to ask you to keep your awareness inside your body and at the door of your sacral chakra, which if you've done the last meditation, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. So I'm hoping you're doing all of these sessions step by step, one after the other, because that way you're going to get the greatest amount of benefit, okay? And I want to encourage you to be in this space of observation, but I also don't necessarily want to put too much emphasis on the meditative aspect of this, because I know this can become a little tiresome for those who don't have a regular meditation practice and just want to jump into but meditation and being in observation is a really, really important thing. I can't stress that enough, and tell you how important it is for you to be in a space of observing yourself, and also to give yourself the capacity then to be in a responsible space as opposed to a reactive space. So I really, really, really encourage, and for anybody who doesn't have a regular meditative practice, that you get one. Okay, so for today's session, we're going to do a very, very quick meditation. If you're seated on a chair like I am, make sure that you are seated straight. Feet are flat on the ground. Okay, we're going to put our hands in a receptive mudra, either with your hands palms up, or we can take Diana for this one, which is left hand under right, thumbs together, and the thumbs meet just about an inch below the belly button, which is exactly where our sacral chakra is. So today when I tell you to send your awareness down to your body, I want you to send it all the way down your spine, and then when we get to our sacral chakra, we're going to stop. If you're using Diana, we're going to stop where your thumbs are, just deep inside your body, okay? So when you're ready, make sure your feet are flat on the ground. Put your hands on your lap when you're ready. Drop your shoulders. Make sure you are not wearing them for earrings. Release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. And whenever you're ready, tuck your chin and close your eyes. Now from here, wherever you are with your breath, let's exhale here. And now take a really deep breath, slow deep breath, and send your awareness inside your body with your breath. Now as you exhale, I want you to release any physical tension you feel in your body. One more time, let's take a deep breath in. See if you can really follow your breath deep into your body. And as you release the breath, release any tension in your mind and in your body. One more time, let's become more aware of our internal world. Send your awareness inside, way deep, all the way down to your sit bones. And melt more and relax a little bit more with your exhale. Now, with this deep breath in, I don't want you to go all the way down to your sit bones. I want you to go where your thumbs are, just about an inch below your belly button. And as you exhale this time, I want you to leave your awareness there, and I want you to see in front of you a short hallway that leads to the door to your chakra. I want you to notice the size of this door and the shape, the color and the materiality, the door handle, and if there are any door locks on this door. If there are, you are the only one with the key or keys, as the case may be. Now I want you to take another deep breath in, put your hand on the door handle, unlock them if it's necessary. And as you exhale, open the door, step in and close the door behind you. This is the space of your sacral chakra. This is the energy center that is activated in you when you're in a state of flow. When you're being one with your dharma, with your calling in life, when you're effortlessly doing in life that which you were meant to do, that which brings you the greatest joy and the greatest amount of good to the universe. This is the center for all of your excitement, for your emotions. This is the seat of the establishment of self. Now, when I say the word self, you immediately consider yourself as you are right now. But the self that lives here, the version of you that lives in your sacral chakra, doesn't have physical form yet. It has not come to pass. It has not come to materialize yet. So you can make it whatever it is that you want it to be. What does it look like when you're in a state of flow? What do you need in order to feel in flow? Are there things you need to change? Are there things you need to strengthen? Either way, you know exactly what it is that you want to have expressed. Whether you need to strengthen things, whether you need to change things, whether you need to believe in things more, you know exactly what it looks like when you are in a state of flow and doing what you are meant to do. I want you to focus on that picture. I want you to also become aware of the voice inside your mind that might object to whatever it is that you're imagining right now. Tell that voice that it's okay. You understand their concerns. You understand they're here to protect you. But this session here is not for them. This is just a session of harmless daydreaming. So any negative voices, any heavy voices that come up, let them go. They may have a place somewhere else in practicality and being cautious, but not in this moment. In the moment in your world of imagination, these doubts have no place. Because in this world, you are absolutely unlimited. And you can have what you want. But first, you have to be able to declare it with clarity. So can you see what it is that you want? I'm going to give you about a minute in observation, just so you can see what you see without any interruptions from me. Are you able to see with full detail who you want to be and how you want to present moving forward? Do you know what you need to change in order to do that? Do you know what you need to define or what you need to strengthen in order for that to happen? Having that awareness in your mind, I want you to slowly start wiggling your toes. Then let's start moving our fingers. Wiggle your fingers. Slowly bring your attention back to your physical body in this moment, here and now. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Okay. So, this is one of those sessions where you're not going to copy me. You're going to do your own version of whatever comes up for you. Okay? Remember that neurographic geometry depicts three major emotions or concepts, right? Circle is things we want to encompass, things we want to declare, things that we want to bring peace to, things that we want to give ease and grace to. A square is something that you want to strengthen, to give it foundation, to give it the ability to be built upon, something you want to build, something you want to be physical. And triangle is the change agent, right? So, depending on what it is that you either need to change or you need to create, whatever it is, that's the composition that you're going to put on your page first. For me, for the first time in a long time, as I'm doing this, I'm actually not going to use any other geometry other than circles, because while we were in meditation, the sensation that I got, or the imagery that I got, was these little bubbles of experience. So for me, the session today is going to be all about doing little circles. So I'm not going to have any squares and I'm not going to have any triangles. But if you do have things that you want to change moving forward, or if there's associations with the past that you want to change, make sure you put in your triangle. If there are things you want to strengthen, put in your squares. Where they go, how they look, all of that, their size, their proportions, all of that is up to you. This is a graphic representation of your state of mind. Okay, so for me today, my composition is going to be a whole bunch of different circles and different sizes, because this idea of me having the courage and the ability to explore myself in all these little different containers that make me excited. Okay, no need for harsh edges, nothing to strengthen, nothing to change, just having the courage to be in and be present in contained little bits of moments. Okay, so you might even want to have shapes that are leaving your page. Right? They're too big to fit on this page. That's okay. something like that. So once you feel like you have enough geometry on there, you have enough representation of what you want, as always, the first thing that we do is we bring peace to ourselves, right? So we connect, we create rounding to connect both to this piece and also to create interconnection between all of our ideas and to soften the edges, to bring about peace, right? To bring about ease and grace into whatever it is that we are bringing forth. Now, as you do the connection and you do the rounding, I really want you to be cognizant of this mental idea of what your life looks like when your desires are expressed. When you're free to be yourself, when you no longer judge yourself and you don't care about the judgment of others, and you pursue unapologetically that which is the passion of your heart. How would that feel? And what would that look like? In your day-to-day life, what would change? How would you feel differently? How would you act differently? How would you look different? Or would it? Would you at all? Are you already doing the calling of your heart? Are you one of the lucky ones? So really give yourself some time to connect to that idea. You know, we are all here in this world with our unique talents and abilities, and we were all put here for one purpose, and that is to flourish and experience our own talents, our innate, Mother Nature given talents. And so ask yourself, if money was no object, what would you do tomorrow? What would you do differently? How would your life change? Are you doing what you're doing in your life right now solely for compensation, solely for the financial security it provides? Or is it the calling of your heart? Chances are, if you're so ingrained in your somebody training that you received as a child, that you don't really gravitate to this kind of content. But is the person you are right now who you want to be? Or is it who everyone else around you wants you to be? With good intention, they love you, they want the best for you, and this is their opinion of what's best for you. But is it your best version or is it theirs? You know, a lot of us, for a lot of people, very early on in life, we're told by our parents what we should be doing, and we trust them fully, and we enter a process. And we go through that process. And by the time we recognize who we are and where we are, 2 decades has passed, and we have completed a process, but we're not feeling fulfilled, we're not feeling happy, we haven't arrived at that point that everybody told us we were going to get to. If we only sacrificed enough right now, later on we would have this amazing thing. Hi. Right? But when was the last time you really explored what it is you want? What makes you happy? What makes you tick? What makes you excited to get out of bed in the morning? What keeps you awake at night? Not in a bad way, not in a I'm responsible for all this to-do list and all of these pressures of life. No, but like, I can't wait for tomorrow. When was the last time you actually had that feeling of being excited to get up early for something in the morning? Also, what is your relationship with pleasure? How much pleasure do you have in your life? How much pleasure do you allow yourself to take out of life? How's your relationship to sex? How free is your sexual expression? I don't care whether you're in a relationship or not. What is your relationship with sex? Sexual expression is actually one of the most basic parts of our humanity and also our root chakra, our sacral chakra. Because this chakra is blocked by guilt, remember? And there's nothing more shameful in most of our cultures than sex. So how's your relationship with shame? Do you buy into shame? Do you allow the people around you to shame you into behaving the way they want? Your relationship with sex also determines a lot of your relationship with yourself. Especially as women, our sex drive is a little bit narcissistic because a lot of the time our pleasure depends upon the pleasure of our partner. Unless we're just pleasing ourselves, then that's a completely different thing. But even then, we like to imagine a partner. We like to imagine being watched, being the object of someone's desire. That's what makes us feel desirable. So how's your relationship with being seen out in the world? Putting yourself out there, being open. How's your relationship to spontaneity and adventure? How often do you explore places, concepts, people you don't know yet? Living out your pleasure is the most basic and most important thing you can do as a human being. And I don't mean this in a hedonistic way of just go after pleasure. I mean being curious about your joy, not forgetting about it. Living a joyful experience is the most important thing we can do as human beings. I mean, I'm not a religious person at all. But even in religion, they tell you that God created all of this to be appreciated, right? If we believe what Abrahamic religions tell us, and this whole universe was created so that us as human beings can have a human experience, then the very least we could do to this great creator who gave us this opportunity is to make the best out of it, is to live the most joyous life we can. And that's the thing, you can't lie to yourself about your joy. Either something brings you joy or it doesn't. I'm going to butcher her name, but there was this lady, I believe she was a Korean lady, Marie Kondo, I think her name is, who had a whole organization and declaring system around, does this item bring you joy? And if the answer was not 100% unequivocal yes, then you didn't get to keep that item. And what would it be? What a great gift it would be if we could live like that, right? If we could just live with nothing but our joy all the time. Does this moment, does what I'm doing right now bring me joy? No, then I'm not doing it. But we have replaced the word joy for the word duty. Do I have to do this right now? Am I duty bound to do this right now? Yes. Okay, then I'm going to do it. And I'm going to sacrifice my joy, to the point where sometimes we get to the point of saying, hey, what even is joy? What brings me joy these days? I don't even know anymore. I am so used to the regular routine of work, home, TV, reality TV, or sports, or whatever, back to work, that I don't even know what it is that makes me excited anymore. And when you lose your spark, when you lose your excitement, you lose your power out of this powerhouse. You lose your ability to create, to co-create with the universe. The universe needs you to imagine with great fervor that which you want, no matter how impossible it may seem in the moment. The universe needs you to believe that it can exist so that it can bring it about. Right? We know from the double split experiments in physics that there is no such thing as an observer in this universe. The mere fact of observing something changes it. And so when we observe our wishes, when you go into a meditative state and you visualize that which isn't here, the universe doesn't have a choice but to create it. Because by the virtue of you observing that which does not exist yet, you are changing the fabric of what is and is not. And then, of course, we just had entanglement theory prove that there is no objective reality, that all reality is subjective and dependent upon being observed. Reality is only real once it is measurable, observable and measurable. The 2022 physics Nobel Prize was given to two scientists who proved this in physics through entanglement theory. So if there is no objective reality, if there is nothing out there without you observing it, then it's better, whatever life you observe for yourself is the one you get to experience. This was also the point of the Secret series in the early 2000s. If you keep thinking about the things that worry you, the universe does not recognize a negative. Your subconscious also does not recognize a negative. I can prove that to you right now. I want you to do everything in your power, and I mean everything in your power, to not imagine the word that I'm about to say. Okay? No matter what, do everything in your power not to imagine a purple elephant. And as soon as I said the words purple elephant, the first thing that happens is the image of a purple elephant pops into your mind. In order for your subconscious mind to negate something, to say something does not exist, it must first create it. The same thing happens with the universe. The universe does not understand negative. So you saying, I don't want to be in debt. I don't want to be late. I don't want, it doesn't recognize I don't want. It recognizes the emotion and the action that you're focused on. Which is why when you, for example, are running late for something, your mantra is not going to be, I'm not going to be late, I'm not going to be late. You're going to be late. You're going to hit every single red light on your way, and then there's going to be an accident, and then there's going to be a fire outside of the building, and you will be uber late. Instead, what you want to think about is, I'm going to be there on time. I'm going to be there early. Everything is working out for me. You want to put the positive out there, because in order for the universe to take away the negative that you are thinking about, it has to create it first. And you're the one who's going to experience it, because like I said, there is no objective reality. Everything is subjective. It must be experienced in order for it to become real. It needs to be an occurrence in space-time. And so if you want to create reality, your reality, with more intention, because you're creating your own reality every minute of every day, whether you recognize it or not. Right? So whether you know that you're creating your reality or whether or not you don't know that you're creating your reality in every waking moment. Now, if you want to create the reality you want, you should stop thinking about the things you don't want and start becoming very clear and very specific about the things you do want. Paint the universe a picture. And this is part of magic and manifestation. One of the things we do in manifestation is we want to be very, very specific about what it is that we want to manifest. The more specific you can get about the things that you do want in life, the easier it is for the universe to say your wish is my command. If you are uncertain and unclear about parts of what it is that you want, the universe will just give you its best guess at what you want. And that may not be exactly what you want, and to the point where sometimes it may take you back to the drawing board. This is why it's so important for us not to manifest from a place of insecurity. Because in survival, we're not thinking about the best case scenario. We are just thinking about survival. So we need to come out of survival in order for us to be in this place where we can manifest, where we can echo to the universe that which we want with great clarity, with minimal chances of mistakes. And for us to say things that, for us to declare we want things that we really don't want, or we don't know that we don't want. Okay. Now, as always, no neurographic art piece is ever complete without neurographic lines. So what I want to make sure is I want to draw a few lines to make sure everything has flow in here. Even though I pretty much have everything kind of encapsulated in little circles everywhere, I still want to have flow of energy through all of it. I still want to invite more people to interact with all of these things that I want to experience and the things that I want to have the courage to put out there. Okay, I need people to support me through it. I need an audience. I need people to work with. So I'm going to bring in their energy into this work. So I'm going to draw a few neurographic lines. I like to draw them from left to right. You can draw them in whatever direction you want. It doesn't matter. For me, the left side of my paper is the past. The right side is the future. So I just like to draw them sort of in that direction. But there are absolutely no rules about how you should draw these lines. You can draw them however you like. You can draw as many as you like until you feel satisfied. Okay, now once I have those lines, as usual, we're going to connect all of these lines. And as you do this, I want you to think about all the resources that you have, all the people that can be there as support, as inspiration, as your target audience, as people that you can affect, as people who can affect you and keep you motivated. Your people are your greatest resource. So who are the people who can help you create the reality that you want? And how can you communicate with them what it is that you want? Because when you go to them as well, you have to be very specific about the ways that they can help you. If we don't tell people exactly what we need from them, they may not be in the best position then to meet our needs. We have a duty to disclose our needs to our loved ones, to the people we are in intimate relationships with. And we need to do that with utmost clarity. But that doesn't create an obligation on anybody to meet those needs. But once you have communicated them clearly, there's an opportunity for your needs to be met. But if we're not clear about them, then we can't also wonder why our needs are not being met. The universe works the same way. You need to tell it exactly what you want. And the more information you have, the more specific you are, the greater the chances that what you end up experiencing is closer to what you were expecting. When you have spent a lot of time in survival mode, working with the sacral chakra becomes difficult because it's talking about pleasures. And pleasures in life, when you've been in survival for long enough, becomes frivolous. Duty becomes more important. The things that create stability become more important. So we need to relearn sometimes when we've been in survival mode for too long, we need to relearn to look for our joy, to become curious again, to realize that we are no longer, in fact, in survival. We have the option to thrive, not just to survive. Today I've tried to give you a little bit more quiet time for you to be able to be present without my interruptions, with your work, with your thoughts. Because the truth is, this work is a work that happens inside of you, between you and yourself. No one else is aware of what's happening inside your mind. And this is just an invitation for you to look inside. The things that I say are meant more as prompts to get you to think. They're not meant to be anything else. I strongly believe you are your own guru, you are your own healer. You know exactly what it is that you need, better than anyone else. I just want to provide the space for you to explore that for yourself. In our in-person classes, or not in person, but online, when you are working with me one-on-one, you have access to me to talk about anything that comes up in these sessions. But in a situation like this where I can't give you feedback, you're unfortunately a little bit more left to your own devices. But a lot of time, even in those online classes, I won't say anything. I will give people the opportunity to work for themselves and on themselves, by themselves. And if necessary, I will interject. Okay. So, one last step. Give me one quick second. Now that we have our composition completed, the next step is to bring in frequency and bring in color. So you know that over the next few weeks and the last few sessions, I'm going to try to keep things quite monochromatic, and I'm doing that on purpose. Sorry if this is unpleasant. So as usual, when we color, especially any geometry, we're coloring 2 or more places at once. And coloring is a great opportunity for you to find out where you missed something. color some of these bigger ones in first. And I'm going to do them a little bit lighter so that as I color the ones underneath, and again, remember that we don't need to color the entirety of the page. You sometimes want to leave up to 30% of the page white. One, because white itself is a color, and two, because when we don't introduce a specific frequency, we allow for the universe to be our co-creator and fill in any place that we have left unspecific. And again, you can mix media here if you only have a couple of, let's say, orange crayons, but you have some orange markers. You can use them. You can mix different media to color your work. And again, I'm coloring my large circles first, because I want to use darker colors with the ones that are underneath. And once you have your composition colored, it's going to look like your version of this. Hello, hello. Okay. So I hope, as my dog does, scratches herself against the carpet, I hope you have had a good time and a fun time expressing and practicing expressing that which brings you the most joy and your own desires. And I'm going to leave you here with this. This is the end of our work with the sacral chakra. I will be back next week with our 3 sessions on the solar plexus, and we move up the chain from there. So next week's focus will be on I sustain. Ooh, I think I have one more. I just need to pick a color for it. Just recognize this in the middle. So that's it. That's all I have for you for today. I wish you all a lovely, lovely weekend. If you are doing this with me live, I will see you Monday at noon for our first look at solar plexus. If you have any questions in the meantime, please leave them in the comment for me. I will check them from time to time, and I will respond to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, if it's more urgent, please go to my website, maryamini.com, and shoot me an email, and I'll be sure to respond to you as soon as I can. With that, thank you for joining me today. Have a lovely day, and I will see you next week. Ciao, everybody.